Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hey, everybody, and welcome to another great show. Charles here, and welcome to the Charles Matthews Morning Show. All right, I got somebody coming up that I want to bring you onto the stage. She's bubbly, she's happy, she's smiling, she's been waiting in the background. Please give her a big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.
Hello, hello. Thank you for having me on the show with you today.
How you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you. How are you doing?
Listen, it is a Friday. I can't complain. You know, we woke up this morning. We have all of our senses. You know what I mean? We can smile, we can laugh, we can giggle. You know what I mean? So it's, we could do what we want. So it's a blessed day. And I'm so blessed to have you on my show because you have a great story. You're inspirational. And I just love having people like you on my show on a Friday because it pushes off until the weekend. So people can talk about it. So I love it. So before we get into your story, let's go back a couple of years. Who are you? Where are you from? Give us your background.
I've been asking myself that question for the last 48 years. Who am I and what am I doing here? If you have all day, we could take care of that. I'm Zach. I'm a Galactic Elder Master Key Holder, 12-stand activator, spiritual teacher, mentor, healer, which is just fancy for saying I empower women to strive to be the best, to do who they are by really tapping into an authentic self, which is something that a lot of women are afraid of doing these days because there's that fear, that doubt, that, shame, that guilt, that resentment, all that stuff that comes with it. So I just empower women to step into their sovereignty, to tap into higher consciousness and to recognize their truth and get away from all the toxic noise, which I call the underground world. So a lot of fun things of learning who I was in the last 8 years and just being able to showcase it now and helping women on a different level.
That's great. That's great. Okay. So let's go back more years now. Okay. Born and raised, where are you from?
Toronto, Canada.
Okay. Growing up, where did you go to school?
Well, being a Greek, I was raised in Greek town. I went to Wilkinson Public School, then I went to Danforth Tech, and then my parents shipped me to Stouffville because it was safe. Not that it was safe. The burbs, trust me, people, the burbs are a whole different ballgame. Then I went to Markville, and then I went to a few other schools, but the greatest school that I went to is called the School of Life.
Here you go. So growing up in the School of Life, what did you want to do? What did the little Zach wanted to become? Like, growing up, you say, oh, as a little girl, this is you.
It's so funny that you asked me that question because I really, at the end of the day, didn't understand the world when I was younger. I was just so confused with humanity and the world altogether because I had this gift at the age of 3. So I knew I wanted to help people. That's the only thing I knew I wanted to do because I was able to use my different tools and techniques that were showing to me, but it wasn't like the regular educational system, like going through an educational system, even though I have a lot of diplomas because I went to school for early childhood education, I went to school for nutrition, personal training, digestive health. I mean, I have so many diplomas that at the end of the day, after I got them, I was like, no, this is not what I want to do. But all those diplomas set me up for who I am today because I could help people on such a deeper level of consciousness. That I could help moms with kids going through divorce, that I could help someone awaken to the death of consciousness. You know what I mean? So there's so many things. So I always say, God prepares us for things that we don't even have a clue what we're being prepared for.
Right.
So yeah, there is so many great lessons that I learned. There was so much greatness that I learned in school reading. I was such a book rat when I was growing up that nothing made sense because I wanted to tap into and teach people how to tap into this external world that you can't see, the unseen world, the invisible world. That's where like my excitement always was. Like, you have to see, you could talk to like air and people talk back to you and then people thought you're weird and, all these things. It was like, yeah, you're weird because you can't feel it. But so that was like, I didn't know what I wanted to do when I was younger other than just help people. So
helping people was key. Helping people is your main focus. So when did you think that, okay, I've always wanted to help people. maybe I should start helping people.
Well, I always did help people. That's something that I always did. It wasn't like, to get paid for it. It was just something that if I saw someone struggling on the street, I would talk to them. I went out and talked to a lot of homeless people and asked them questions and shared love with them. I would, if I saw parents on the road struggling with their kids, I would talk to them. Like, I was always doing it unconsciously. I just wanted to go out there and just be a helping hand. So it wasn't something that I didn't do consciously. I just felt like it was a natural cause, especially talking to people on the street. It's something that they're being judged all the time, but you don't really know people's stories unless you talk to them. And when you sit there and you talk to people that are on the street and they're saying, well, I did this, this, and this, and now I fell in this, you realize mental health was such a big issue these days, even back then. And I didn't really pay attention to mental health because I didn't understand what mental health was. When people say mental health, you think that you're up in the cuckoo's nest. But you don't realize that mental health is depression, that mental health is anxiety, mental health is panic, mental health is fear, doubt, anxiety, guilt, shame. That's all mental health. Right. So after crossing so many bridges myself with depression and all that stuff, I realized, my spirit guide saying, you have a mental health issue. And I'm like, no, I don't. And then I got explained as to what really mental health was, because the stigma around mental health is something that you don't want to share with other people. So once I rose from the ashes of darkness like a phoenix, I was like, I got to start talking about mental health and spirituality and the ego and the spirit. So that's when a lot of things happened, and I fell down again and got up, and I fell down. So I always say it doesn't matter how many times you fall down, it's how many times you get up and learn something new about yourself.
Yes. And that's my favorite motto. I didn't know that. I honestly didn't know that. As I say 5 years ago, I always thought that failing was failing. I didn't know that failing is teaching and learning. So when you fail, you're actually going ahead of everybody else because you learn the mistakes. Because when you learn the mistakes early, the guy beside you hasn't hit that mistake yet. You're like, you're going to get there. And I know the answer before you get there. So I try to tell all my students the same thing. It's okay to make a mistake. No one's perfect, but what do you do when you learn from it? So I love that you said that. And I love that it's something that we need to teach more people. I think we have a, what, maybe you can explain it. What's this fear of failing in front of people? Like if you trip in your own house, you laugh at yourself. Mm-hmm. But if you trip in like at a restaurant, the first thing you think of is who looked, who saw, who did this, why? What's the difference? A trip is a trip.
Judgment.
There you go.
Judgment. People have a great way of judging others. But what I say to a lot of people is that as soon as you start judging someone, it's just a reflection of who you are. Because we judge based on what we see within someone that we see within our own self. So when you're judging someone, I always tell my clients, if you're going to judge someone, do it constructively. Ask yourself, why am I judging this person? What is it about that judgment I'm making that is triggering me? Right. So constructive judgments, right? But judgment, you could grow from it or you could just sink with it, because judgment comes also with being jealous of someone. I always tell people, if you're judging someone, it's because they have something you want, right? Someone that you want to be with, or they're doing something that you wish you could do. So you're judging them based on who they are rather than, being happy for them so that you could create that life for yourself. All
right. So do me a favor.
Yeah.
Say that part again, because I love that part. Say your part again for people out there to understand that when you're because they're like, I think that is one of the greatest sayings, because when someone's at work, she's like, oh, she's always judging me, and they feel bad that they're judging you instead of thinking they're always judging me. What are they jealous about? I like that. I've never said that. Like when someone says, oh, they're always judging me, I should say, yeah. So what are they jealous about? That is great. I'm stealing that one. Letting you know that now.
You could have it.
All right. So on that note, we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to dive into your story, because you have great stories that I think will help others. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Immigrant Women in Business, IWB, is a non-profit organization bringing together women from over 50 different countries around the globe. These women have now made Canada their home and share a common goal of providing value to their new sisters. Our motto of "We are stronger together" resonates with all members, and with a diverse membership of business leaders, entrepreneurs and community builders, our goal is to make Canada better and provide guidance and leadership to those that follow.
Yes, we are back live with my friend Zach. And before we left, we went to go to commercial break. If they're bothering you, if they're judging you, it's just jealous. Just,
Smile with them.
just wipe it off. Jealousy. Love it. All right. All right. So let's get into this right here. Your website. Tell us a little bit more about this.
So since I've been tapping into this infinite energy that's out there for each and every one of us, no one is greater than another. The only reason that other people are more advanced than others is because they're tapping into this infinite energy that helps us soar, helps us see an infinite peace within our own self. So this here is a 21-day meditation, and it helps. What I've created is a 21-day meditation that helps you heal through wounds, traumas, imbalances in your body, unravel blocks and patterns that you may be going through. So in 21 days, there's a lot of different meditations that you could do. And I have them all in order for a reason, because there's coding behind it. There's an energetic frequency behind it in order for you to be able to see something greater within yourself. So in these 21 days, it is a free 21-day meditation. You can learn it and do it on your own. And the meditations are only 10 minutes. So if someone says, I don't have time, you're lying to yourself. Turn your TV off. Turn social media off and make yourself a priority in life. Because if you don't make yourself a priority in life, someone will take advantage of you.
You said that so mean. You're like, because in the back of your head, you're like, you really want to say, shut up. You got 10 minutes.
No. I hear that all the time. I don't have time. And I'm like, well, if you don't have time, that means you have to do it, because you're missing something.
Exactly. It's like when people say that, you're like, when you really think about it, come on. Let's talk for real. You don't have 10 minutes? No. Did you watch any of your shows today? Yeah, I can't miss this show, that show, this show. Do you know those shows are actually half an hour?
Yeah, or an hour.
And I'm actually to take 10, and you had time to watch 3 of those shows. What's more important, the shows or yourself? You pick. If you can miss one of your shows and take 10 minutes out of your life, I don't know. And you know what another thing too is? It's called PVR, people. Okay? Record your show and do this 10 minutes. It will change your life, okay? And you know what the key thing about it is? I don't know if you can read, everybody. It's free. It's absolutely free. So what are you hesitant about? Why would you not jump on this? So make sure you try it. And it's real simple. See, you click the button right here, and then you just join up, sign in. See, there's the form. Fill it in, sign up, and then boom, you're in like Flynn. It will change your life. Make sure you do it. No, I'm not, nowadays when I do this show, I don't draw back any punches, because I think sometimes people just need a good kick. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, I don't got this. Stop making excuses. You know, I was like that person too. So I'm not going to lie to you guys. I was like that person. I still am a little bit, because I hesitate, and I go, why am I hesitating? Why am I waiting? Just do it. Go ahead and push. So let me ask you, what is the one thing before you got into this thing that, you know, that you hesitated about? What was the one fear that you had that you realized afterwards you're like,
Everything. I'm just being honest. Everything. People judging you, people talking negative about you, people calling you these enormous crazy names that I realize that I'm normal and you're weird.
Yeah.
You know, there is just being that perfection. What does perfect mean? Doesn't mean anything, because I could be perfect to me, but I'm so imperfect to someone else. So what my parents were going to say, what my family was going to say, if I was going to have friends by the end of it, every disease or virus that you're going through, I've probably been through it. I'm not talking about the viruses that they're talking about now. I'm talking about mind viruses.
Yeah.
Toxicity. So yeah, everything. At the end of the day, I was the child that was 3 years old and able to see spirits running around your house. I was that teenager that could tell you your future. I was that 20-year-old that went through cancer, but nothing feared me and had this great walk-in energy take over my old spirit. So there was so much that I was experiencing but wasn't able to express, because you're that weirdo or you're strange or this and that. So I just got so used to those titles. Some people say, hey, what do you do? I'm like, I talk to dead people. And they're just like, what? I'm just like, okay, no, I do that too. But it sounds so bad, but I do talk to higher consciousness. I do talk to Christ consciousness. I connect and teach people how to connect. So I went through every virus and disease out there to man's mind. And now it's like, you know what? It doesn't belong in my energetic frequency. If you don't like it, that's a you problem, not a me problem. If you have something to say, look in the mirror, you're talking to yourself. I'm just triggering that point and an expression of you. So now it's a whole different ballgame. Now it's like, yeah, game on, my love. Do this meditation and change your frequency. You know what I mean? So yeah, everything.
Because the thing about it is, what's good for you might not be good for somebody else, but there is people out there. That's the thing. If I'm selling a product and not everybody wants my product, but there is somebody out there. So say I don't get the first 5, 6, 7, and 8 might want my product. So don't give up. You know what I mean? If not everybody's in the same thing you're doing, but there is people out there.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, I went through so much like different techniques. Like I always talk about nutrition because after going through cancer, I had to learn how to eat properly. And I got into nutrition, you know. I met Jim Rohn. I was so blessed to get to meet Jim Rohn so many times and have conversations. And he said, knock on everyone's door. And out of 10, you might get 1. You might get 9 people slam the door. And I used to knock on everyone's door. The things that I did to get sales, the places I went to get sales, people said, you go where and do what and talk to who at that time? And I'm like, yeah, but I come home with a stack of Benjamins. So I'm okay with that. You just have to be different thinking. You have to be creative. You have to just go out there and have a mission in your mind. And that's exactly what I did. So I had, you know, these words behind my head saying, you know, Jim Rohn going, knock on 9 doors, 10 doors. They all might shut down on you, but you know, just continue going. Because at the end of the day, one will open up for you. And that one could be like the greatest one. And if you didn't continue going on, you missed out on that one.
You ever see that little drawing where the person, it's a little cartoon of a little guy and he's digging?
Yeah.
And if he hit like just 5 more digs, there was diamonds and gold and everything underneath, and he gave up. All you have to do is swing the axe 5 more times, and he would have been a rich guy. So I love that you're saying that, because knock on the doors. You never know the next door, and it might be 10 doors you knock, and not one opened. But you went and said, you know, I'm already here. There's one left on the corner. I'll go knock on that 11th door, and that's your client for life. You never know. So don't hesitate. Knock on some doors, okay? And we said knock, people. Don't kick them down. Knock.
Don't give up on yourself because 10 people said no to you. So when you go to knock on that 10th door, like 11th door, I should say, I know it's like that, oh, you know, you're frustrated, you're angry, you're this and that, but it's just what I say to my clients, when you're going through that frustration, you're going through an upgrade.
Yes.
So just go beyond that.
And the thing is, like, I want to go to a break, but I love that we're on this because people forget the same attitude you had from door number 1. You need to carry that same attitude all the way down to door number 11. Because just because number 1, 2, and 3 put you in a bad mood, you never know the relationships on 4, 5, and 6 all the way down. Don't let 1, 2, and 3 change who you are. If you're still that smiley person, be that smiley person all the way down to number 11, because they're looking for a smile. Who knows? Number 11 might be looking for somebody just to smile at them and change their life.
Yeah, exactly. Or someone that they just needed someone to say hi to them because they could have had a bad day. And now all of a sudden you come knocking on the door and you just say, hey, how are you? And they're just like, wow, someone cares.
Exactly. I needed that today. Exactly. Yeah. All right. We're going to take a quick break. But when we come back, I want to ask you, how do you smile? When you wake up in the morning, your routine, what do you do? We'll be right back.
Oh, Lord.
CMJ Entertainment is a one-stop shop. CMJ Entertainment helps people do any type of events, and it's a marketing tool as well. So we'll cover everything from start to finish. If it's a wedding, we'll make sure your wedding is over the top. And if it's an event, we make sure that everybody gets information at the end of the day. Give us a call at 416-414-8964 or online, go to cmjent.com. Back live with my buddy Zach. All right, here we go. What makes you smile? What do you do when you wake up in the morning, Zach?
My morning starts at 5 a.m. every day.
Good Lord. No, please.
Yeah. Well, it was something that I was trained to do by my guides because it was like, you need to get up at 5 o'clock. I'm like, why so early? Like, I don't want to be part of this crazy club that everyone's on, but I'm in my own club. So I wake up. The first thing I do is obviously I give gratitude to the Almighty for giving me the day. Because the reason I do that is a friend of mine passed away in her sleep. So I realized how important it is to give gratitude, to say, hey, thank you for this day. I switch up my morning routine. I added something else in my routine that I won't discuss on the show this morning because people are like, well, what was that she said? I do journal every day. And like I talk to my spirit guides through journaling. I meditate and I read every morning. Those are 3 must-dos in the morning. So those are my non-negotiables. So meditate, journal, and read every morning because you have to stimulate your mind, and how you start your day is really important. And the most important thing is that I do my bed after I'm done everything. Because then that's one completion, like an achievement. Like, oh yeah, you done your bed. And people may think that's so like tedious, like, oh, what do you mean I achieved doing my bed? But once you set up that goal, you start doing all these other things. So that's that part of it. And then I also listen to YouTube. I'll put on a YouTube maybe a half an hour, 45 minutes of a pastor just speaking a verse to me in the morning. And then I start my day. I don't turn my phone on till about 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock. I have it on like a silent or airplane mode, or I'll hear my spirit guides. And I think you should turn on your phone. You're going to get a phone call. And that's when I turn on my phone. But usually from 5 a.m. till 11 to 12 p.m., 12 p.m., I literally am in Zach zone. I'll go through things that I have to go through. And then after that, it's okay, let's get clients, let's get media, social media stuff. Let's get everything else under control.
So what I'm listening and watching now is that you have your time, me time.
Yeah. Very important.
Everybody needs to have me time.
Yeah.
Because if you don't have me time, it's just go. You crack. You don't have your time where you can just unwind and just breathe and say, okay, all right, I've given me my me time. I'm ready to go and start. So there you go. So if you want to learn how to have your own me time, 21 days, learn, sign up. It's real easy. Click the button. You see that I did it. Click it, join. 21 days, learn to meditate, turn to relax, learn to. Okay. You know what the funny thing is? There used to be this joke on TV when all the guys used to get together and they go 1, 2, 3, and they all. But the funny thing, we laughed at it, but it felt so good.
Yeah, it feels good when you're breathing, because right now there's so many people that don't even breathe properly. That's the thing, right? Everyone's breathing into their heart or into their solar plexus, and it's not even a full breath. So I learned how, sounds weird, but the majority of people just don't breathe properly. And you're thinking, how is that even possible? Like, breathing is a natural occurrence.
Yeah.
And I was in my 20s. I think this was before or after cancer. I can't remember. I was in my 20s, and I took this Kundalini course, and it was like, you go into a church basement, and this is something, before all these yoga studios were up. And the teacher's like, you're not breathing properly. And I looked at him like, what are you talking about? I'm not breathing properly. Like, where is this coming from?
I'm breathing. I'm breathing. Yeah.
I'm alive, right? I'm alive. And he says, feel your breath of where it stops. And he goes, only babies breathe properly. So probably for like 3-4 months, I would walk with my hand on my belly because we weren't breathing properly. And so I was like, wow, like I'd go to class every week and I'd say, you're not going to believe I'm breathing better this week, So now with everything going on in the world and everyone, the anxiety, the panic, the suicidal thoughts, like all these mental health, like my heart hurts so much for everyone that's going through that. It's that they're not taking that breath all the way through their body to clear the stagnant energy. So breath is actually life force that cleans up the stagnation that we are holding on to, the fears, the doubts, the angers, the resentment, the comparison, all that stuff. So, even taking that shallow breath, that when you said like just that shallow breath alone, you might feel like you look crazy, but you're doing yourself a world of favor, right? So yeah. So since I've been meditating now for almost 20 years as something that you go on and off the ladder all the time, but now it's really important, especially with everything going on in the world. You definitely need to take that 10 minutes. I even tell people, do it on the toilet instead of bringing your phone with you in the toilet. I don't know how people bring their phone with them in the toilet. Just didn't matter. I can't fathom that idea. Just breathe on the toilet, for crying out loud. You'll have a better time, trust me.
It's, I was like, okay, I get it. Let's just sit there. It's your time. Why not? You're there. You're doing your thing. So why not? I love it.
Don't give me an excuse you don't have 10 minutes. You're on the toilet, I'm sure. So, yeah.
That's what I'm laughing at because that's true. Okay, you don't want to miss your show? You don't want to do anything else? When you got 10 minutes on that can, you can take Love it. All right, listen. Thank you so much for making my day. You gave me a laugh today that I'm not going to forget. I'm going to go to work today and go, have you taken your 10 minutes in the bathroom?
Yeah, exactly right.
People are going to look at me like, what are you talking about?
Right?
I'm like, watch our show today. Zach was on there and she tell you, breathe while you're in the bathroom. There you go. Just have some fun. Enjoy life. Well, listen, you've been a pleasure, Zach. Thanks so much for being on my show today.
Thank you for having me, Charles.
Like I always said, everybody, you didn't have to watch, but you did. And I'm glad that you did. So here's the one thing that I want you to leave you with. Breathe. Enjoy yourself. This is your time. Sometimes we do in the hustle and bustle with everything that's been going on. It's time for you. So I just want to say, take your time, go for a walk, sit outside, enjoy the sunlight, and just breathe. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye, everyone. Thank you.